Good morning, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Today we've got the 3 Series and we're going to be going over some tips, tricks, and just some hidden features of your BMW. This is a 2017. Unfortunately, I have my wife's 2024 here, but we'll do another video with those because some of the features will be a little different. But to start, we're going to go over a couple simple things on the outside, gas cap, hood, things like that, and then I'll show you some little tricks on the inside. Now for some of you, these are going to be pretty obvious if you've owned BMWs for a while or if you've read your manuals, etc. The first thing I want to point out, if your car is locked, this push to open will not work. So your gas door locks with your other doors. Now that might seem, again, obvious to a lot of you, but when I was working in the dealership, that was a lot of questions I would get when people would first get their cars. Hey, my door won't open, it's just locked. Second thing I want to show you on the door is your holder here. Now, if you're a BMW owner, you probably know this, but a lot of us are obsessed with our paint. BMW makes a great paint, and the last thing you want to do is just let your gas cap be dangling and scratching up your paint down here, because that's what's going to happen. So use the holder, okay? Just sticks right in there. Now I will say, I have found, after I knew about this at BMW, most manufacturers have some sort of built-in holder on the door. So the more you know. Okay, so we'll close that. That's step 1, easy hold there. Now number 2, I will say, I have shown this in a video before, but your kick to open on your trunk, not all of them will have that, but the sensor is right below that roundel and it's under your bumper. So all you're doing is kicking your foot just like that, fast. In and out, in and out, in and out, which I'll show you. My trunk has a lot of tools and trash in it right now because I've been using it. And it is what it is. So you just do a quick kick, it'll open. Now, another thing, since we're back here, your battery is located in the trunk. Now, it's actually going to be in here, which I might be able to show you. It's going to be in here, and then I might have to remove a floorboard to get to it. I don't quite remember, but... So, if you go to jump the car, you need to know your battery is back here somewhere. It's dark, so I apologize. And the other thing I want to show you while you're back here, your car should have a toolkit, and inside that toolkit would be a tow hitch. Now mine's sitting on the side here because I just used it to tow the BMW to Missouri. It just sits right in here. Push it in. That is what you would use if you ever need a tow. You have 2 locations. Your first one's going to be on the back right down here. And all you do is push this right where the little arrow is. This tab pops out. You screw that in, and now you have something to pull. Okay? So, just a couple things about the trunk. You also have a Phillips screwdriver in here, which pulls out and has a flathead on the other side. And then it also will remove like a 10 millimeter, and I think that's an 8 millimeter if you were to remove the entire screwdriver. Which, again, it's small, but that has come in handy so many times for me. I'm like out and about, someone's like, hey, I need a screwdriver. So all that is put that flat, then lock it into place and you're locked. So, hey, I need a screwdriver. Oh, I have one in my BMW. Another thing, again, talking about the paint. When you close your trunk, there are close handles here. I see so many people grab their spoiler or their trunk. Just grab here and close it. Okay, now if that was a powered tailgate, you could close it with the button, or you could close it by kicking again and it would close. All right, now that we've done that, I'll show you real quick on the front where you would tow from the front. And again, you would just bring that ring with you, come up front here, and it's going to be down here. Again, you would just push that out, screw it in, and that's actually where I had it up front. And the only reason I did that was just to strap it down to a trailer a little bit easier. So that's that. Now, I'm going to go under the hood here, and I'll show you where your jump ports are. So if you needed to jump the car, this is how you would do it. Now, there's not a battery there, but that's okay. All right, another thing. On the BMWs, it says 2X. 1, 2. The hood is open, okay? You don't have to find a latch under the hood. Look. See? Easy. Okay. So let's come over here. This red is where you would put your positive, right? Covered. Nice. Easy. And then you might look around and you're like, where's the negative? It's going to be a prong. And it's going to be right here. It's usually going to be pretty close to your positive. Like my wife's X3, it's the same thing. It's just a prong. And you put your negative, your positive, let it sit, jump the car like you would any other car. There's just no battery right here. That's the other thing you need to know if you're an owner. And then, as any owner should, look your car over. I'm not going to go too much into all this because it is what it is. Each model is going to be completely different. But that's pretty universal, the jump ports. Negative, positive, okay? Pretty easy. Now let's jump in the car. Show you just a couple quick features in here that you might not know about or you might not quite understand. So the first one, when the car is off, I have not pushed anything. I just opened the door. Sorry, the camera is out of focus. If you come over here to your turn signal and hold it down, I'll get a notification. Roadside parking lamps on. Okay? So I can hold it up to do my left or my right turn signal, right? And I'll get the same message. So you might be wondering, what does that mean and why is that there? I will show you what that does. So when you get out of the car, you look and you're like, wait, what the heck? Why is only one headlight on? Then you come to the back and it's the same thing, right? I've got door lights on just because my door is open, but same thing. Why is just the right side on? That is in case, say you were at a park on like a busy road and cars were flying by on this side and it was about to snow, you could leave these lights on so that people could see your car easier. That's literally the intention of that feature, okay? And I could be wrong, someone correct me if you're in Europe, but I'm pretty sure that that's a standard feature on European cars like Volkswagens, Porsche, Audi, Mercedes, because that's what they would do. So, same thing, if this side was going to be vulnerable on the street, I would leave these ones on. And since they're LED, they will not necessarily burn your battery out that bad. So we'll jump in. To turn them off, just flick your turn signal and they turn back off. They will stay on for probably a couple days. So, all right. A couple quick things. I've ran into people who did not ever know that there is a storage location down here. So, you're welcome if you didn't know that. Sorry, I cannot get the camera to focus in here. There we go. All right. Let's turn the car on to electric mode. I'm going to show you just a couple quick things about your iDrive. So if you don't have this iDrive, this might not be applicable, but I want to go over your preset buttons. Now, most people understand that these can be used for like radio stations. If you are a BMW owner, these are used for pretty much anything. They're very universal. And I'm going to show you what I mean. So if I just lightly put my finger on, it will show me what has been saved to that number. So number 8, I've saved to turn off the screen. And the reason for that is I don't love the screen being on for long road trips when it's nighttime. It's a lot of light. So it's a quick way. So instead of going into the settings and the menus and finding turn off control display button, I've preset it to a number so that I can just go there directly. Okay. Number 7 was my address. I don't live there anymore, so hopefully you didn't catch that too much. Don't go bomb them with email or mail or something. And then number 2 is tone settings. So like sometimes I'll adjust the bass or the treble quite a bit. And instead of finding that in the menus, I like to have that just quick set to a button. So to save something, so let's go to connected drive and let's say Now here, let's go. My vehicle, technology in action. Let's say I liked the sport displays a lot. You can get your horsepower and torque. So if I wanted to save that, I'd make sure it was highlighted red as such. And let's say I want to save it to number 3. I press and hold number 3. And there you go. Sports displays is now saved. So I don't have to be anywhere specific. I could be here in my media and press number 3, and it'll automatically go to the sports displays. And then I can press number 8, and it's going to turn the screen off. And then I can press number 2, and it's going to go to my tone settings. So find out what you like and save those, not just radio stations, okay? So that's kind of just a feature most people don't understand. Another one I want to go over is this here. A lot of people don't understand what this does. Now, all this does is adjust 4 vents. 1, 2, 3, and then your 4th is on the driver's side. The reason for that is when you're in, let's say you're in automatic heat mode. Now it's going to turn the heat up, the fan, so I apologize. All it's trying to do is get the car to 84 degrees, right? It doesn't care how it does it. So if it notices it needs more hot air up here, it's going to force more hot air out of here. Now what will happen is if you're driving, right, that's a lot of hot air right on your hands or your face. And so what you can do is say, I don't want all that hot air coming out of these vents, so I'm going to turn these to be a little cooler, but it's still going to get the car to 84. It's just going to realize, oh, hey, that's too hot right here. Let's put it up to the windscreen or, you know, force it down to the feet more, okay? Or same thing in the summer. If you're blasting AC and your hands are starting to freeze, turn this to the heat side, and it'll start blowing hotter air out of those 4 vents, and that way your face and your hand warm up a bit, but the car stays cool, okay? So I just want to go over that because there's a lot of confusion on that. Not too much more hidden here. Obviously, your sport mode, those things, again, they are what they are. There's not too many hidden features, I would say. Some tricks with them. You can use them at any point, first of all. And I actually think sport mode is a little better for highway. I don't know. That's just my opinion. But I think it holds the RPMs better if you're going 80 miles an hour. It'll actually keep you at speed longer and save you a little bit of gas. Going to the dash, just so you know, the BC stands for board computer. And all that does is cycle through information in the car. So right now it says I'm getting 37.3 miles per gallon, which if you're wondering how I'm doing that in a 340, it's because I reset it and I drove from home to work this morning, and that is very downhill. It's 22 miles, but it's pretty much downhill. Okay, so now, how do you get your windshield wipers to stay up? That's another feature that a lot of people don't understand or don't know how to use. So what you're going to do, you're going to turn your car off, push it again. Okay, so turn it off. Hold your windshield wipers up. They're going to wipe, and then they're going to stop. And that's called service mode. So you want to put your wipers in service mode even when it snows. That way you can fold them away from the windshield. Okay? That's also how you would change them. I've shown that in another video, but you can't just pull the windshield wipers up normally. The hood is too close, so it hits them. So if it's going to snow, start looking. I bet 90% of BMWs you see on the road when it snows don't have their wipers up when everyone else does. So those are some of the few. I'll go over in another video more about the media functions. If you have head-up display, you can use these to do a lot of things like change radio stations, change the mode, and it will display it all on the screen. Let's see if I can get it to show on camera. In the interest of talking about head-up display, a little tip is to not own polarized glasses, okay? I don't know, there. So you see it says 0 miles per hour. and then you can cycle through AM, FM, auxiliary. If I had Bluetooth, it would do Bluetooth. And then you can actually cycle through and select different stations. Now, unfortunately, mine doesn't roll, but it would roll and show you all the stations on this button. Okay, so you roll, and that would cycle through stations, and you push in to select. Another tip is if you use Apple CarPlay like I do, which I can't use now because I'm recording. If you use the voice control, sorry, that's probably really loud. It'll let you do things with the BMW like infotainment, right? So you could say navigate somewhere, it'll use navigation. You could say play a radio station, it'll play a radio station. You could say adjust head-up display, and it'll take you to the head-up display settings. You could say tone settings, and it would take you to your tone settings. So it's pretty intuitive. But if you're using Apple CarPlay and you press and hold this, it'll actually activate Siri. And then you can tell Siri to text someone or do something as well. So you don't lose one or the other. Oh yeah, there's a little hidden feature. You're a time saver. I like that. All right. Last thing, if you put your windshield wipers on automatic, which I'm not gonna press because I don't want to keep wiping and getting sap everywhere, but it'll light this up green. Now what that will also do is your BMW has self-drying brakes, and it will, essentially what happens is that brake pad closes so close to the caliper, or the rotor, sorry. The caliper closes, and it pushes the brake pad so close to the rotors that it clears the water off. Now that sounds insane, but look it up. So I would usually leave it in automatic, but I took it out last time because it was just annoying me. But just a little hidden feature. I can't really show you that, but that does do that. So I'm gonna wrap this video up. We're getting a little long. Appreciate you guys watching. Let me know if you learned anything new. I'm gonna do more videos just about setting up your profile and using these buttons. Now, your driver profile will save all your settings. So my wife, or me, jokingly say mine is J Money. That was my nickname when I was in high school. And we haven't done these two, but all these settings, so like these settings here, all these 1 through 8, those are saved under the J Money. If you came over and you were to press one of your seat control buttons, 1 or 2, those are saved under this profile. If I change to BMW driver 2 and then I try to go push a seat button, it's not going to be the same. Okay, so there's technically multiple seat positions that can be saved. So under my profile, seat position 1 is probably more casual driving. Seat position 2 is more upright for sport driving. I don't need to save seat position 2 for my wife. She can just use a different profile and have her own 2 seat settings, okay? That's a little confusing at first, but that allows each driver to have 2 seat settings themselves. It allows each driver to have their own presets. It allows each driver to have a lot of different settings, like in the iDrive, that are going to cater to how the driver likes. So even like your tone settings, your bass or treble will change per profile, okay? So just a little tidbit on that end. There's a lot in the settings I could go over, checking the status of the car, changing settings, changing your light settings, changing your key settings. But I think the best thing for you is just to go over it yourself and look at those, because I could spend hours, and I used to do that for my job. So like I know every sub menu within the menu, so to speak. And I'll give you one last tip here. If you have this comfort ventilation, you might not understand, it does not start your engine. It just pushes air through the vents, pulls air from outside, starts forcing air through. So its use and capabilities is going to be best in the summer. Hot day, you're in the office, you know you're off at 5, you're going to get to your car about 5:10. Set it to go at like 4:55. Crack your sunroof. Okay, leave it cracked if you know it's not going to rain. And then what it'll do is it'll start forcing air in. And since your sunroof is cracked, all the hot air is going to start getting forced out of the car. And you're not going to have one of those walking up and getting in your car and it's just an inferno of death. So it's actually quite useful. So hope you guys have a good one. Long video, so thanks for watching if you made it to the end, and stick around for more.